what it takes to achieve the impossible, what it takes to accomplish your life's goals, what it takes simply to survive the darkest moments in your life. Two very, very important things. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, today I'm going to tell you about something very important. If my life is a bicycle, these two factors are its wheels that keeps it going forward. The front wheel that guides my life, and the back wheel that powers my driving power. I will tell you about these disciplines. The guiding wheel of my life is friendship. These aren't the friends that you meet, chit-chat, say hi, bye, no. These are the true friends, the awesome friends, the real friends who stick with you. These friends are one in a million. It's so hard to find them. But once you find them, believe me, these are the people who know you, who trust you, and above all, who does not judge you. These people are the lampposts when your life is in darkness. I'm really lucky that I have 3 such friends here in the United States. And these folks have been like the first aid men and women carrying a stretcher with a wounded man. And guess who the wounded man is? With their help, I've cheated death more than once. An example. This is my 4th year at Hopkins. So far, I've been working on this one very specific research project. And after 3 whole years of working, I realized this is not going anywhere. Frustration, irritation, explosion, and finally collapsing. As you may know, for a grad student, the thesis project is their life, at least for as long as you graduate. And for me, it was like my life collapsing just in front of my eyes. It was horrible. But did I collapse? Well, almost. If not for these friends of mine, I would have been like a droplet of water evaporating in a hot summer day. They listened to my sorrows. They shared my pain. They just kept listening and listening again to the complaints that I made, no matter how ridiculous they were. Then they gave me feedback. They listened to my arguments, gave me comments, encouraged me, and guided me what to do and what not to do. Yes, I made the final decision as to where I'm heading, but they were there always for me. I could always fall back on them and release my pressure. Chat with them for hours on end and they would still listen intently. Because of my friends, I lived another day to fight. And that's how I survived. So, most importantly, you need to find good friends. Well, that's my guiding wheel. But what about my driving force? Huh? Well, that comes within me. That comes within each of you. That's the willpower that you have in your heart. To go forward when nothing is working for you. You keep on going forward without stopping. That is the driving wheel in my life. I've heard this saying that champions aren't the people who do not fail. No. Champions are those who get up every time they fall. You see, without willpower, without courage to drive through, you are like a hot air balloon but filled with cold air. You ain't going up. And let me relate to the first example that I gave you with my horrible project. I didn't crumble now. Of course, I related my sorrows and my pains to my friends. I got their help. But in the first place, I went and sought the advice of those good friends. I took the initiative. Of course, they cared for me, and that was really good of them. But I took the initiative. Then I didn't stop there. I kept analyzing new ideas positively, bringing forth arguments. Can I do this? Can I do that? I never stopped. I went from step to step, trying to brainstorm new ideas about new projects that I can do. Finally, I landed this new project idea that I could actually use the talents that I have developed in my first 3 years, so that my first 3 years were not a waste, and still steer the project in a different way. It was like a breakthrough to me. I made all the groundwork. I went to my professor, confronted him, and marketed my idea. By the way, some grad students usually call their professor Voldemort. My professor is a bit nicer. So I still confronted him, motivated him, and solved this idea. This was 2 weeks back, very recent. And you know what? Last week, actually last Friday, I was sitting with my professor in the daily grind. And he was trying to convince me, hey Janaka, your new idea is really cool. Why don't you give you 100% on it? Hey, life has miracles for you. But those miracles do not happen like this. No, it takes willpower. Believe me, this is something that is inside each and every one of you. But you need to bring it out. You need to keep going when everything is trying to pull you down. That's the beauty of it. And that's my driving wheel. So my friends, I talked about the 2 wheels of my life. But it's not easy because they don't come by default. You don't really find good friends. I'm pretty sure there are some people in this room who yearn for a good, true friend, but who can't find a good and true friend. What do you do? What do you do? Well, you start by being a good friend to other people yourself. You start that today. Start being a good person to everyone you meet. And lo and behold, one fine day, you will realize that you yourself will have good friends in other people. Smile at the world and the world will smile back at you. That's my principle. And that's how I found my good friends. On the other hand, what about willpower? Well, I've got to say just one thing about willpower. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Over to you, Toastmaster.